SHALAM.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Crisis Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior YAHANNA.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. That's right. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, do we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. SHALAM.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. The I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all, including the annual lamb slaughter. You already know. Then it's the Hebrew Academy trials. Oh boy. Next, we got the children's party. Then, you know, we got General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class and the Hebrew Academy graduation. The Lord's 56th annual Passover. Pay your Passover fee. It's only $200 to get all these exclusive events. Real black culture. The general's in attendance and the stage is set. It's going down. April the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. This event is only for the black, Hispanic, and native indigenous people. We got a week full of events from April the 9th and the 13th. But remember, you gotta pay that Passover fee. It's only $200 to get every event exclusively. Here's the itinerary for the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 9th is the annual lamb slaughter. April the 10th is the kids party. At 7 p.m. later that night, General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class. April the 11th, the Hebrew Academy graduation. Later that night at 8 p.m. is the all-black party. April the 12th is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. $200, 17 years or older, pay your Passover fee. See you in Atlanta, Israel. Shalom.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Crisis Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April 11th, we got the Black Party that's going to have the Hebrew graduation. April 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under commended Junior YAHANNA.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. That's right. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, do we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
Hey, what's going on, Adiyar?
Hey, Shalom, priest, Yahbashim Rashtar. What's going on?
Shalom, Yahbashim Rashtar. What's going on with you?
Everything too wild, man. Ready to rock, ready to rock, man. Here for everybody that's out there, this is the Feast of Purim. You understand? This is for every so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. This is real Black culture, man. You understand? What's this about just name coming back? Go ahead. You got it, priest.
All right. Hey, shalom to everybody that's listening, to everybody that's here with us watching. We are opening the Feast of Purim in Canada as well as all around the world, right? I got my brothers with me in Montreal on this stream with us, and we're going to be going in on an excellent sister and
you keep cutting up. Bear with us for a few seconds. Also, the budget will be back shortly. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and pay your Passover fees, man.
Damn right. Pay your Passover fees, right? All right. So we'll be going in. We got today we'll be talking about an excellent sister and the wise counsel that she got. And this sister is excellent because she not only put her nation before her well-being, she received counsel and she followed it.
Right.
Right. So that's what we're going to be reading today. This sister who received counsel and followed it. All right. So if we could, Adiyar, can you open the book of Esther, Baba Kasha? You could read for me, Baba Kasha, until the young man that's with me is able to read. Adiyar, you're on mute if you are speaking.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 and 20 provinces. Verse 2. That in those days, when the king
All right,
Ahasuerus.
so y'all, you could keep reading.
Okay, come on, saying that in those days, when the king Ahasuerus
If you-
sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace.
All right, so this is talking about King Ahasuerus, who the world famously knows today as, we call him Xerxes, right? Like they did the movie 300 about him, that effeminate looking man that was painted all gold. That's who this is talking about, right? And this man, he reigned damn near over the earth, right? Or what was known as the whole earth during that time. That was his reign. He reigned over that, right? And he had many kingdoms. He had many nations under him. Baba Kashar, can you read verse 2?
I just finished verse 2, priest. You want to read it again?
So okay, he had in his kingdom he had a palace, right? And this palace was huge. If you could read verse 3, Baba Kashar.
Come on, priest. Verse 3. In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Right. So in his 3rd year of his reign, he wanted to have a party. He was having a feast, right? And that's what we're going to read about. We're going to read about his party, his feast, and one of his ribs. We're in verse 4. Baba Kashar, Adi, I'm going to get the young man that's with me to read verse 4 for me.
Okay, come on, priest.
Right? So this king, he wanted to have a party, right? He wanted to have a feast, and he was bringing all his princes, all his subjects to this feast. If you could, can you read verse 4?
When he sued the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty, many days, even 180 days.
Right, so what that's talking about is he was, okay, so he had to go to battle to get his kingdom, right? He had to lay men down with the sword to establish his power and his kingdom. And after these battles were finished, he wanted to show off his kingdom and the possessions that he got. Right? Bear with me. Right? Where are we, dude? All right, can you jump down to, can you read verse 11, Baba Kashar? All right, we're just going to jump right into it. Read verse 11 and just be a little louder if you could.
To bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal to sue the people and the prince, her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
Right. So Vashti was to the heathens a beautiful woman, right? She was fair to look upon, and that's what that means. She looked good to this king, right? And he wanted to show her off. So he told his courts or his subjects to go get her, right? Like any man who has a possession that he believes is valuable or looks good to the eye, he's going to show it off. And that's not talking about how men in the world walk around with a sister with her cheeks out today, right? That's not what it's talking about. It means like you have a good woman, you have a woman that looks good, you want everyone to see you with her. And that's what the king wanted. He wanted to show off his queen, his woman, right? And we're going to find out what happened. Can you read verse 12?
Then the king, but the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wrath, and his anger burned in him.
Right. So he told Vashti to basically, she has to present herself in front of the court, and she refused. Now what's happening is she's refusing this man because that's what she believed her power was. She believed she had the power to refuse this man, right? This is something we see today. We see it in sisters today, where a sister will act like, and it's a common thing that you hear sisters say. Now, I'm not saying Vashti is a sister, right? But there's a common thing that sisters say in the world today, right? And I'll give anybody in the chat or who's watching on or ADR Montreal, y'all could, if y'all know what the sisters say today, what reflects what Queen Vashti did, y'all can say it, right? If you want to answer, you can just raise your hand and let me know, right? Can you read that part one more time?
But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
And any man who has a woman can understand that. You have a woman and you are providing for her. You're nurturing her so damn near, raising her up to be what you want her to be the best version of herself. And you have a request that you sent to her and she refuses. Any man is going to be angry. Damn near every man is going to be angry and going to take it as a disrespect, right? Especially in these times when anything can happen. You walking down the street with your woman and some heathen might run up and try to attack simply because you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, right? And you tell this woman, no, we got to go this way, and she refuses. You're going to be angry, and it could be a life or death situation, right? Now, her refusing the king, it's like what women in the world say today. Anybody got it yet? Let's see if my chat got it. See if they said it, right? Well, what she said was, I don't need a man, right? And that's what's being said in this moment when she's refusing the king's request. She's saying, I don't need him. I'm independent. I don't need a man. Where are we? What verse did you just read? You read 15? 12? Okay, perfect. Can you read 13?
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner towards all that knew law and judgment.
Right. So the king, he looked to his counsel. Right? First I want to say this. How did I forget to say this? Right? A side note, it's a good day to be in the UPK. Right? You don't have to worry about your leader doing sodomy. It's a good day to be in the UPK. How did I forget to start with that? Right? Listen, there's some fake Israelite groups. Man, they're in shambles right now. They got their leaders crying like a girl on camera, telling us how he made things disappear, and we just don't want to know how he made it disappear. We don't care. He said he made it disappear. Shalom, that's good. Nice. He stepped down. That's all we need to know. We're gonna watch and see if he stays stepped down. God.
So like he wanted a Vashti.
Salakia, he wanted a Hagar to get with his Vashti. Salakia. hangman. The Haman, that's what he wanted. He wanted a Haman to get with his rib so he could watch. But side note, again, it's a good day to be in the UPK. Now let's go back to what we were reading. If you could read that verse one more time.
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner towards all that knew the law and judgment.
Right, so he would go to his court or his council, his wise men, and he would ask them for counsel, just like any good leaders, right? Any good leader has a council. The Most High has a council of angels where they get up and discuss things. You can just read the book of Job. It's in the first chapter where the sons of God are sitting before the Lord and they're having a council. Well, this king in the world had a council, right? And he's trying to figure out what to do. And brothers can relate to this all the time. Like you might go through something with your rib and you call a brother like, damn, I'm going through this. What do I do? And the brother might give you some excellent advice, right? I can't say what advice you're going to get in the world, but if you're in the UPK, you're going to get excellent advice on how to deal with a rib, on just how to deal with life situations in general, right? And Vashti, she didn't go. So he's turning to his counsel to figure out what's up. Keep reading.
And the next unto him was Karshina, Shether, Admatha, Tarshish, Marsena, and Memuian, the seven princes of Persia.
Right. So the seven princes of Persia, meaning this was his council. This was the men that he had close to him. Right. And he would ask them for advice and he would see what they say. And if it was wise, he would go through it. And that's what every leader should do. Can you read 15, Babu Kashar?
What shall we do unto the Queen Vashti according to law? Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus. By the chamberlains.
Right, so he's asking, like, 1 second, let me just make sure. All right, so the question comes out, what to do with Queen Vashti? She's not listening. She's being disrespectful. And that's how they looked at it. They looked at it like she was being disrespectful. Right? Now, brothers in the world definitely understand what it's like when you ask a woman to do something and she flat out refuses, right? And it's even worse if she's doing so in front of everybody. And this is supposed to be the king of the world. He can't have his woman refusing him. Can you imagine you're going into a battle, you're trying to take over the next city, country, or village, and you're going into a battle and you're sending your messengers, hey, go to that town and tell them to bend the knee or we're gonna come through and slaughter everything. And the people in that town are looking at him like, why would we bend the knee to you if your woman doesn't even come to you? That is a hard thing to go through. If you got to go through that, good night. That is one of the, man, you are not going to get respect. No one's going to bend the knee to you. You're going to have to go in there with the sword. They're going to look at you like, all those war stories don't mean nothing when your woman is not listening to you. Now, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, you got to get your house in order, right? because the world sees that your woman doesn't listen to you, and no one's going to take you seriously. And a woman is not going to take seriously a man that is not respected. You don't get no respect outside. You definitely not getting no respect inside your house. That's clear as day. Right? Where were we? Right. So she didn't want to go up to King Vashti, and he's asking his chamberlains, what do we do about this? They're going to give him the answer. And the answer is not good night. Listen, y'all sisters just got to be lucky that it's not these times for all you sisters that want to go get with heathen men. Right? And even till this day, well, I'm going to say it like this. Damn, in this day right now, 2025, you're seeing the results of what happens when a sister gets with a heathen. They're getting battered and abused. Right? They're getting broken up in that house, thrown into walls. There's a dent in the wall that looks like a human body because that heathen threw that sister into the wall. We seen, I remember not too long ago, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, there was a sister. She was with a Edomite football player, started arguing with that man, and she said she woke up in the hospital and didn't know how she got there. It's because that man put hands all over her. Right? If you could read, you're going to get an answer. We're going to read the answer that the king's men said to the king when he asked, what shall we do with Vashti? Can you read verse 16?
And Murmurian answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen hath not done wrong to the king only.
Hold it right there. Right? So the servant is answering the king, and he's saying to the king, she hasn't done wrong by only you. Right? This is a wise man. He understands a little something. And this time he's wise because he understands what will happen if this disrespect is widespread. Right? And this is an excellent book, especially in these times when Black people, especially our sisters, are afraid of a sitting president. Because he is setting it up so his constituents or his base, meaning white supremacists, the Klan, are getting ready for race wars that are about to start, are getting ready to attack Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep reading.
But also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Right? So the servant Mamukan is saying to him, right? Is saying to him, listen, what's happening is she did not just disrespect you. She disrespected all the men in your kingdom. Right? And for those of you that don't understand, it's basically saying if the queen of the most powerful man in the earth could disrespect him and tell him no, what is she going to do? Or what are the rest of the women in the kingdom, his kingdom, going to think? They're going to think, well, yeah, well, damn, I could disrespect my man too. I don't have to listen to him at all. That's what they're going to think. Can you read verse 16, Baba Kasha? Verse 17.
For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti, the queen, to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Right. So Where were we? We were just at 15, 17. Right. So they're saying for this deed that she did, right, where she showed that she despised her husband, right? When it's reported, all the women in the kingdom, in the provinces, are going to believe that they don't have to listen to their woman. You don't believe me? And you might think that this book is old. Y'all like, listen, these niggas, they just so caught up in the Bible. They're not spiritual. This is something that's happening in the black community today. You got some hoe, right? I'm gonna just call her a hoe because I don't believe Beyonce is a good woman at all. She gets up on TV and says, to the left, makes a dance, shakes her tail, and all the sisters be like, to the left to their man. Here's the difference. Queen Vashti or Beyonce, right, are damn near the same. One's a sister, one's a heathen, but are damn near the same. Because when all the women were going to see Queen Vashti disrespect her man, all the sisters today listen to Beyonce and listen to the disrespect that she was giving her husband by saying to the left. Remember, this woman is married and making songs about to the left. But guess what? When Jay-Z got another woman, she never went to the left. She never sent him to the left at all. She stayed. She's married to this brother right now. Right? So when women in the world see a woman who's given power, disrespect her man, they turn around and do it. And here's a lesson for you simple sisters. Beyonce didn't leave her man. But y'all did because you wanted to listen to her. And the wise men in King Ahasuerus' council, they seen this. This is damn near 2,000 years later, and we can see it today, where some woman gets up on TV or gets up in power and says something so outrageous, so egregious to the Black, Hispanic, and Native American family. All these women in the world start to go with it. They run with it, right? They act like what this woman is saying is powerful, like it's going to save them.
So like a priest, if I
can
may.
you read verse 18, Bubba?
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media.
Hold up. Con.
And I want to say also, like, to all the women out
Montreal,
there,
y'all got it?
Yeah, come to what a priest. I want to say to all the women that say, well, you know what, I'm a queen. Well, obviously, if you think of yourself as a queen,
all right, while we wait,
your man is a king. You understand? So if your man is a king, how are you going to disrespect your king? You understand? What type of king are you following by disrespecting your king? You're doing exactly like, you understand, like this Eden did with, you understand, with that other Eden. You understand? You acting like the Edens back in the days. You understand? Meanwhile, today we see that the Edens don't love to be disrespected. You understand? These men out there, these Arabs, these Africans, these white men, they don't want to be disrespected by their woman, man. You understand? Why? Because they learn from the stories like this. Meanwhile, you disrespect, you understand? You think, you understand, what we see in TV, just like you just said it, you understand, earlier with Beyonce, you understand? They see this and they think, well, I'm gonna disrespect them because I'm an independent woman, I'm a feminist, you understand? I'm free to do whatever I want to do. Meanwhile, you understand, a man doesn't want that. And you shouldn't want that, you understand? And afterwards, calling yourself a king, calling yourself a queen, and your man is your king. You understand? That doesn't make sense. You should obey him. You should follow him. You should, you understand? You should be the kind of woman that we're going to read about. Salakia.
Damn right. Listen, give that a hand. Give that a hand. And that is a perfect analogy. Because y'all sisters be calling yourselves queen. Queen. And really, you are BITCH. All cap locks. All cap locks like Captain Meshach types. That's you. You are horrible. Listen, sometimes, man, the internet is so good and so bad at the same time. Because the internet lets you, I get to talk to brothers because of the internet that if I was to use a regular phone, it would run up a hefty phone bill, right? There's brothers all over the world I could call. The other night, I'm like, damn, I might need to call UK for a second. And I'm like, damn, what time is it? It's 12 here in the morning. So I had to call Barack to find out, is the UK up right now? What time is it? If I was to call Barack with a regular line, it would have told me, sir, nigga, you can't call right now because it's long distance. Luckily, we got WhatsApp. I could call off the internet, right? So that's the good thing about the internet. It helps me connect with my brothers. The bad thing about the internet is the influence it has on our sisters and everything they do, right? That's the bad. The influence it has on our young men and everything they do in the world today. These sisters be calling themselves queens and they're not queens, right? Some of you sisters are evil, and I be watching these skits. I can't tell if it's a skit, if it's AI or what, but I seen a sister. What's going on? I'm breaking up. I'm back. If I'm breaking up, if you're watching in the chat, it's not Tawab. Just type it in the chat if you could, Baba Kasha. But I watched this sister talk to this young man, her son. This man looks like he's just under maybe grade 5. He doesn't even look like he's in middle school yet. They talking to him like he's supposed to be paying the bills, telling him like, if you don't give me your birthday money, I'm going to take your PlayStation and sell it. And this young man's devastated. The young man called her out about, what are you doing with the money, partying it away? I couldn't tell if that was a skit or not. But if that was real, that was a capital B, ITCH. Right? Where were we? What verse do we read? What was that? 18? Can you read it one more time?
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princesses which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Right. So they're saying, right, and this is what we've been talking about the whole time. Of these ladies of Persia, Salakia, what's Persia today? Adiyar, what would Persia be today? Or Barakia Allah?
Salakia, sir. That'll be Iran, Afghanistan, and that area right here. Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, parts of India. Salakia, sir.
Right, the smelly nations. Okay, I got you. The smellies. You know, the people you see on the bus sometimes, they don't want to wear deodorant. Good night. I feel sorry for you if you're in Brampton. You're on that Brampton Transit, and you gotta damn near even in Scarborough. It's just getting out of hand. But listen, Iran, Iraq, Persia, Afghanistan. That women find out what Vashti did. It's going to be an uproar. And you can see it today. You see it in the black community where women are basically what Vashti said is crazy. It's some crazy work for these sisters to be like they're independent, but then they depend on a man to unclog that toilet. That toilet gets clogged. I don't know no sister that's going in there with a plunger. That toilet gets clogged and the plunger's not working. She needs to go to Home Depot and get a snake. She's not doing it. In that moment, she's not independent. Right? I watched a video, just a little sidetracking for a second. I watched a video of a man. He was on a date with what they would call a stud, right? A sister that she puts on a masculine persona. Good night. And no, it's not the brother that's like this when he gets behind the studs, right? Like, it's not that brother, because that brother, he's funny. He be doing a good job. He be going to the parties and he be walking up to them studs with the bow, bow, bow. Good night. He's trying to factory reset them. But this sister, she's on a date, and she can say it's not a date, but that's clearly a date. right? The brother's trying to do a good thing and bring her back to her natural use. And the bill came for the food they were ordering. And the brother took the bill. He's ready to pop off for the bill, pay for the bill. Because that's what you do when you take a sister out. You know, you take a sister out on a date. Most brothers are trying to impress her. They ain't going to let that sister pay. An excellent sister is not going to let the brother pay. Don't let that one go over your head. Most brothers don't want a sister to pay on the date. Give that brother a hand, right? But give the sister a hand that's not going to let the brother pay. Give her a hand. Give her some flowers. Wait 6 months and give her due benevolence. Forever. Right? And she started crying because she said every time she goes out, she has to pay. Because, woman, you are doing some unnatural things on those dates. You're taking women out, and a woman is not going to pay for a date. She don't believe that's her role. A good woman will. And she started crying, right? So let's get back to it. Where were we? We finished reading 18. Right. So now if these sisters, or if these, I got to stop saying sisters, right? But I'm going to say sisters for the moment. If sisters all get on one accord, and you know what? I'm going to say it like this. You see the black community today, the men in the black community, Hispanic community, Native American community, they're in wrath. They're angry because these women are not listening, right? They are going outside of their home and thinking they run the house. Go on.
I think in today's day and age too, like when it comes to like women, like
if you could just a little louder, because
I think in like today's day and age, when it comes to women too, like we feel absolute unnecessary overpressure, like feeling to like try to like be something that's like not necessarily unrealistic, but unrealistic to the average walk of life, to be able to get a female, like, you know.
Yeah, that is something that is happening right now in our communities, where you go up to a sister and a sister don't have a car, she on the bus, and you walk up to her and be like, hey, what's going on? And listen, this sister bad. You're trying to kick the best game that you had. You're going deep into that black book of lines and bars that you have to try to make her smile. And she looking at you like, what is that, a Honda Accord you're driving? I cannot talk to you. You got to be driving a Brabus Benz truck. And she on the bus. She don't have a car, nothing. That's what this young man is talking
about. Hey, still like it, sir.
Car.
Still like the other one. You hear me?
Car, I got you, Barack.
We can't hear you, also, Budgie.
Can you hear me at all?
Oh, no. Check the cord over there.
Hey, anybody in the chat, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Let me just check real quick to see what's up. Let me check real quick.
Hey, Silaka, can you hear me, other one?
You can hear me. Yeah, I can hear you. Let me check real quick.
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah, the chat's hearing me. It's something on your end, Montreal.
God, we just fixed that. I was saying, the sister complaining about the wheels he got. She's on the bus. She's not even driving the bus.
Right. She's not even driving the bus, and she complaining about the wheels you got. I'm a one up it, Adi. I'm a one up it, Baraki Allah. Montreal. She don't even have a license. She can't even drive if she wanted to. But she talking about the man that she wants needs to drive a $200,000 Benz truck. And now she wondering why she don't have a man. And why every man is just, listen, it's easy to get a Benz truck. I'll tell you this much. Just save 2 weeks worth of money and go rent it. And you'll have that sister. And then at the end of it, when you don't talk to her no more, she's going to understand that she's been tricked. Because she views what a man is by how much money he has, not by his morality. right? So we're going to keep reading. Let's see, where were we? I'm just checking it out real quick. Yeah, if you could read 19, we're going to read 19 so we could see what happened, right? And this is good night. She learned a horrible lesson in that moment. If you could read 19 and just project your voice, Baba Kasha, if you could.
If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes,
the Medes,
that it be not altered, that Vesti come no more before King Ahasuerus. And let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
Hold up. Listen. Oh man, I don't even know. I'm just gonna let you know, man. This Bible, written over 2,000 years ago, applies right now. Some sister, I don't even know if there's a sister, right? The rapper Nelly had a woman, right? Hold up. Let me see if I can find this post, because Captain Tazariak made a post about it. The rapper Nelly had a woman. His ex, Chantel Jackson, she looked like his sister. I can't tell exactly, right? But for now, I'm going to say she's a woman, right? She said she left him to see if a little space would bring them closer. Meanwhile, he went and got another woman. He went and got the woman that he really wanted. He went and got Ashanti. Right? And that's what the king's court is telling him right now. Oh, she want her space? She wanted a little space. She wanted to think that she don't have to listen to this man. He's the ruler of the earth in that moment. What's known as the world in this time that we're reading, he's the ruler of it. He went and sacked nations and made other kings bow down to him and took crowns. He has a beautiful woman according to him, and he wants to show her off at his party where he's showing off everything that he has, which is his right. That's his possession, his property. And she said, no, I'm trying to give you a little space. What Nelly do? Nelly went and got Ashanti and gave her a baby. Y'all sisters thinking that a little space is necessary. It's not. Right? For all that intuition y'all women say you have, why didn't this woman see that Nelly was going to step away all the way? Oh, you want to give me a little space? And he went and said, okay, well, Ashanti gets their baby. He let it rain on Ashanti. I said that because Ashanti has an excellent song called Rain on Me. All right, y'all, good night. I'm going to just say, listen to that song with your rib. Or ribs, I don't know. Right? Where are we? So the men in the king's royal court said, make a law, make a decree, make a commandment that since Vashti doesn't want to come before the king, let her come no more before the king. Chantal Jackson is understanding this now. She didn't want to come before Nelly. She doesn't get to come before Nelly anymore. She might see Nelly at the Country Music Awards on TV. She's going to be on her couch eating that Haagen-Dazs. Good night. It's sad for these sisters. Right? But that's what they were trying to prevent. They were trying to prevent women from thinking that you don't need a man. It's 2025, and I'm quite sure all the sisters in America now realize they need a man. ICE is knocking on doors, cracking heads. And these sisters are realizing in this moment they need a man. Right? Or a nation, like this brother said. The nation comes from the man. right? Montreal, if y'all got anything y'all want to add, y'all already know. Y'all jump in when you're ready.
Wakan.
We're in the Feast of Purim, and good night. We got some good food, some strong drink, right? Brotherhood and sisterhood. And that's
like,
come on.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you done, sir.
No, I'm just saying that's what's needed. Hey, shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yashai Barak Atah. Shalak Ya Allah. The water for tuning in.
Yeah, I just wanted to add. Oh, you were going. Go ahead, please.
You got it, Montreal.
Yeah, I just wanted to add with what we just read, right? Where they told the king to get another one, like let her go. She want to have a peace, and this is one of the lessons that you women must take from that. You might think you're the baddie. You might think that you're the baddest. There's somebody else that's better than you.
Damn right.
There's somebody else, you understand, that will do things that you won't do. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you with that man, take care of that man. Be humble, man. You understand? Show your love to that man. You know what I'm saying? And it goes vice versa too, because that sister, you know what I'm saying, could get somebody else. But you know what I'm saying? Once you have that man, don't think that you're all that, and then you're not gonna listen to him. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, cherish him. You're not gonna be the type of woman that you need to be for him. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else will be.
Damn
you
right.
Understand?
Salaki other one.
Good.
You're talking about you know your worth, but you're not the one who's valuable.
God.
You know, that valuable woman will show herself and will prove herself, and she won't even have to do nothing really.
God.
She'll just be valuable.
God.
Salaki.
Yeah, that was it, priest.
Salaki. I think also Zabadi having some technical difficulties.
No, you're bad. I just wanted to put us in front.
All right, I'm back. The water, Montreal. Yeah, Barak Allah, you said something heavy, right? You know your worth, but there's someone more valuable. I'm gonna ask these sisters, who determines your value?
Salaki, sir, if I may.
That's the question. Yeah.
In case brothers and sisters may not have understood exactly what I said in the chat, that sister that said that she knows her worth and thinks she's the valuable one is really not. The valuable one will show herself. She'll just be.
Okay.
Some women don't even try. This is just how they are. So of course, coming out of the world, they need to learn how to be a good wife, how to be a good sister. And they don't know because, you know, coming out of the world, it may not be easy. And they say they know their worth. They're the shit. They're that bitch in an endearing way. Yeah. But you need to stop boasting. That's the problem. You need to get off your high horse. The way you think you're valuable, you know your worth, is really not what it is. Because when it comes to your man or to the man that you pursue, there's another woman pursuing that man. And she will be valuable just because she is. And then you will learn that you're not worth as much as you think you were.
Right.
It's a lot, sir.
Hey, it's a competition out there, sisters. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all listen. I asked a question earlier. I just want to know to you sisters, even if you get this far in this tape, right? Or this, if you watch this later and you get this far, sisters, you think you're valuable. Who determines that value? What makes you valuable? I need to know. Because a lot of sisters be like, I'm valuable. Well, who said you're valuable, right? Come on.
I just want to add this one last thing. Just what you said is crazy. It's like a piece of charcoal estimated itself the same worth as a diamond, while the crystal is just valuable. And the charcoal has to be made into a diamond, or has to pipe down and be like, you know what? It can be made into a diamond, but it is not yet. You know,
hey, that's excellent, because if you rub some charcoal on your white t-shirt, you're gonna be pissed off. But you get you a handful of diamonds and rub it on that t-shirt, you're gonna be like, ooh wee.
Damn right.
Ooh wee. Yeah, right. Listen. So Good night. All right, let's get back into this. Where were we? All right, so what we just read in verse 19 was basically the king was told, since you don't want to come before the king, make her not come before the king anymore. And that was the punishment for Vashti. She was, good night, for lack of better words, right? Hold up. Okay, can you read verse 20? We're just going to finish out this chapter because there's nothing, there's a few gems in this chapter left, right? If you could read verse 20, Baba Kasha.
And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
Right, because what is happening is the decree that the king is going to give for Vashti, she's going to be unalived. She is losing her spot. And once she's unalived and her head's cracked, good night, all heads will roll. All the women in those provinces, in that kingdom, their heads will roll and they're going to give honor to their husband. That's what we're reading. They're going to give honor to her husband, right? If you could, Baraka Allah, could you have your sword with you?
Karawakan.
All right, as long as the internet's not choppy for y'all, can you read chapter 2 and start at verse 1, Baba Kasha?
Karawakan. This is the book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her.
Right. So the king, he didn't forget. He remembered what she did. She was being unruly to him in that moment. Right? That's what was happening. She was being unruly to him in that moment. The king remembered. It's like you got a woman. Listen, here's a lesson for you sisters, right? Y'all could go give your box away to a man because you feel your man is not doing what he should be doing. And at the end of the day, the man that you give your box to is not going to take you seriously. I'm going to prove my point right now. There's a hoe in the world named Cardi B. Hold out. Right? She got with this brother, talented brother, wrote some of her best hip-hop verses. If you know music, you know them verses she rapping aren't hers. They're Offset's. She left Offset because she got with a millionaire and expected him as a millionaire not to have another rib. There are men sleeping on park benches that have 3 ribs. They all sleep in that park. And you expect the man that can afford the private jets, the Audemars Piguets, the Rolexes, the mansions, to not have another rib? Now here's the kicker. She left that man she has a family with to go get a man that she doesn't have a family with that has other ribs.
Right. I'm right.
Good night. These simple hoes in the world. These simple sisters in the world. Simple-minded. Not thinking about what's best for the kids because them kids don't matter. Them children do not matter to these sisters in the world. Listen, is damn near a generation of people that, good night, they would have, this generation of people today that we're seeing would have never made it out the wilderness with Moses. Right? They would have never made it with Aaron. Who came after Aaron? Was it Joshua? Slovakia.
Kawaka.
Come on, priest.
Come on, right? They would have never made it with Joshua into the kingdom. You know how it tells you how that there's a generation that they didn't make it, the mixed multitude, they didn't make it into the kingdom. Because that generation had to die off. It's damn near what needs to happen now. Brothers and sisters need to start coming into the truth. And the generation that's out there, if they're not coming into the truth, they damn near need to die off. I'm watching, and I've never understood this. I can't walking down the street and see two sisters arguing. And they start to physically get physical. Like the sisters are arguing, you might try to stop it, you might not, because they're just arguing at that point, right? You might let them just get off what they need to get off their chest, because sometimes arguments need to happen so points can be made, so we can understand who's at fault, who trespassed against who. But once them sisters get physical, I'm not watching that. And I'm for damn sure not pulling out a phone to record it. I'm going to be in the middle of it trying to break it up. I might be getting scratched and get hit with something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, stop. I'm trying to separate these sisters. But there's a generation of people who will watch a sister get beat down by another sister or a group of sisters. Watch a brother get jumped. And you might see two brothers fighting and you might just let them get it off for a second. Like they need to shoot the 5. Right? In the I.S.U.P.K, there is no shooting the 5. Brothers in the world might need to shoot the 5, even though they shouldn't. Right? They might go fist to cuffs for a second. But you see two brothers fighting, you're gonna stop it. You're definitely gonna stop it after the first round. You might count to 30, like 30 seconds. All right, they got a little 30 second and let them stop it. In today's world, everyone's just watching it. Good night.
So like if I
keep reading.
So like a priest, if I may add something from what we just read, right, on chapter 2, verse 1, where he says, like King Xerxes, right, remember what Vashti had done and was decreed against her, and he was pleased about it. A lot of you sisters don't understand that most of the men that you are dating are being hurt by a woman, and this is why he's not treating you the right way. This is why you understand. You say, well, there's no good men left. Why? Because there's a Vashti that done, you understand, mess up his life, that done broke his heart. So he's pleased, you understand, by treating you wrong. He's pleased by treating you, understand, because he's not gonna give the same type of love to you. Why? Because not only you didn't show your worth, but also because of what has been done to him. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the I.S.U.P.K is such an amazing place, because those kind of brothers could come over here and be fixed and know how to love a woman, know how to care for a woman. And also, as for you women, it's an amazing place for you, because now you're not going to be a Vashti. You know that this man comes with problem. This man, you know what I'm saying, is heart being, you know what I'm saying, like shattered in a million pieces, man. So now you know how to move, you know how to speak, you know what to do, you know what I'm saying, for that type of man. You know what I'm saying? And like that relationship that you guys have won't be like a relationship that we see outside. Why? Because that man, yes, he was pleased, you understand, for what's happening to Vashti, what, you know what I'm saying, how he treated other women, but you made something different in his life. You showed something different in his life. You showed that you're not gonna have sex with another man. You showed, you understand, you're not gonna put him on child support. You showed that you're not gonna speak to him, you understand, any which way. You show something different. And again, this is what we're gonna read about during this feast. This is why you understand this feast is about. So like it.
Right. That is excellent, right? And something, Slakia Adia, there's something you just said that was excellent, and it is definitely true. A lot of brothers are hurt by sisters, right? So now, this is my challenge. Y'all sisters love challenges, right? You putting your hand in front of your face like this, dancing to that damn Hamite. I'm convinced she's a Hamite. I looked at the YouTube channel. It said Vivo Africa. And I was listening to the song and I'm like, it sounds like Eminem. Right? Eminem can rap. He could put some bars together. It might sound good every once in a while, right? But it's not hip hop. It's not what we grew up on. It's not the real. When I hear Hamites try to do that dance hall, it doesn't sound like the real. Y'all sisters are putting your hands in front of your face talking about whine it to the max. Y'all doing a challenge. I see you. I see the videos, right? I seen something totally disgusting today. I seen a bunch of Benjamite teen sisters doing that challenge in front of their high school. It was horrible. I'd rather see Benjamite sisters showing off that 80% on the report card. I'll watch a whole sister do a valedictorian speech and replay it 1,000 times so she can get some money on her YouTube channel, rather than watch some sisters twerking, winding up themselves because they have the lack of guidance. Well, since you sisters love challenges, this is a challenge. Challenge the sisters that you know that have a baby father, a husband, because she having sex with him. That's her husband, right? Who has a man. Challenge that sister to not leave him. So your daughter could grow up and get a proper man in the world. Because the sons that are growing up under the sisters that leave their man, he hates her. He's going to act like he loves her, but I'm just going to give you the real. The son that watched his mom leave his father, he hates her. And he's going to hate the women he grows up to rib. He's going to hate his ribs. Because in the back of his mind, he's going to think, damn, my mom was an evil SOB. Right? He's going to grow up thinking, damn, is this why my father left? He's going to grow up thinking, damn, I don't want to take care of no woman because she's going to take half my stuff later on in life. He's looking at DDG's story right now and saying, damn, this brother on the internet complaining that he don't get to watch his children. He don't get to see his son enough. Now, I'm not sure how true this is or not. Maybe he's seeing his son every day, and maybe he's doing it for clout, right? But there are brothers in the world that are fighting to see their children. And y'all say, y'all sisters say, well, damn, you weren't in your child's life. Why didn't you fight? Why does the brother have to fight to see his child? It's his child. You sisters like, I carried the child for 9 months. He carried it for 35 years in his nutsack. Salakia, in his bowels. He carried that child for years in his bowels. You ain't seen him say, I carried this child for 20 years. Then I shot him into you. Good night. Barak Yahweh, keep reading.
Verse 2. Esther chapter 2, verse 2. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king.
Keep reading.
Verse 3. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hegi the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given them. Verse 4.
All right. So that was verse 3, right? So now, actually out the picture. Just like Chantal Jackson out the picture. Ashanti in there now. She in the picture. She got her man. They probably going to make some music, some timeless music, right? You might see Nelly and Ashanti pop out with another song sooner or later, like they did back in the day. The king got a new woman. This is for you sisters, man. Listen, y'all keep treating this man. Y'all keep treating your men like he ain't handsome. If you thought he was handsome, someone else thinks he's handsome. There's 10 more women that think he's handsome. And they're waiting. They're biding their time. They don't know to shoot their shot right now because they grew up in the Christian church. Y'all sisters see a man that has a woman, shoot your shot. That could be your man too. I'm just saying, Salakia. Well, they went and got all the young women, the beautiful young women, brought them to the palace and gave them things to get ready for the king. Read verse 4, Baba Kasha.
Karawakan. Esther chapter 2, verse 4. And let the maiden which pleased the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the king pleased the and the king pleased the king, and he did so. Verse 5. Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
Ooh-wee. Right. So now Esther is okay. I'm jumping ahead, right? At the palace, right? At the palace where all these virgins went, there was a man that went there, right? He's over there because his family member's over there. We're going to read about that in a moment. His family member's over there, so he went there, right? And this is a Israelite, a Benjamite. Remember, Xerxes or Ahasuerus, the king, he took over the lands. He took over Israel. He took over nations. So he has the Israelites in his court right now, or in his Salakia. What's the word? I'm gonna just say he's over the Israelites right now. Right? And this is what happens whenever we sin. When we sin, a heathen gets put over us all the time. We got heathens over us now. We had Justin Trudeau over us. That LGBTQ member trying to tell our children that they could be. Listen, they're trying to tell little Jamal he could be a Jessica. Little Jamal, he only in grade 3. He can't even think. But you telling him he could be a Jessica, but you won't let him vote. You won't let him drink alcohol. You won't let that grade 3-year-old, right, that young man in grade 3 go get a firearm. But you're telling him he has enough knowledge that he could change his sex. It's horrible what's going on. 1 second. Let me just see something real quick. Bear with me real quick. I'm just looking for something. Are we? Okay, that's not necessary right now. Right? If you want to, for verse 5, if you want to more insight onto what we just read, you can go into your Apocrypha, right? Get you good night. This thing, okay, I gotta do it like this angle or it's gonna disappear. Right? Get you an Apocrypha, go into the books of Esther, right? And read chapter 11, verse 2 and 3. And I'll give you more insight onto Mordecai. All right. Barak, can you read verse 6?
Karawakan, Esther chapter 2, verse 6. Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
All right. So there was battles that were happening. Jerusalem fell. Israel fell, right? Because we sinned against the Father. We were carried away into captivity. Like we are carried away into captivity today. Right? The things you read in the Bible, the things that were written aforetime could be applied today. Right? I'm paraphrasing that scripture. But you're seeing that this Bible is alive. These books are alive. It talks about our life right now. Right? This is talking about Mordecai. Barak, jump to the next verse if you could.
Karawakan, Esther chapter 2, verse 7. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter.
Right. So he brought up Hadassah, right? Which is believe it's myrtle tree, right? Or fertile. That's who he brought up. And listen, this is something you see a lot of black folks do. You might have a family member in the islands and things are rough over there. And they have a son or a daughter and they want them to get a good education. So they send them to Canada. You might have, they send them to the United States. Like, here, educate them. And some uncle, some brother, right? Not like the uncles and brothers at your family picnics, right? But some uncle, some brother is going to take that child and raise them up as is his child. Or the auntie's going to raise up that child as it's her child. And this is what Mordecai was doing. He's raising up Hadassah as is his child.
Damn right.
Right? Where were we? Barak, keep reading.
Karawakan. For she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and her mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
Right, so that's what this brother did. And this happens all the time. Like, again, I just gave you an example. Now, it doesn't always work out where the family member dies or something like that. But a family member, listen, it's rough down in this island. I have a zinc roof. A hurricane just messed up everything. Or the Chinese won't let me sell the fruit that I grow in my yard in the town because they have a business that they don't have to pay taxes for 5 years. So because of that, because the Chinese in Jamaica are operating businesses tax-free for 5 years, only to give it to their son, he's going to operate the business for 5 years tax-free. And because I can't sell my ackee and dumplings and festival and jerk chicken on the corner like I've been doing for the last 50 years of my life, like I watch my mother do, like I watch my uncle do, I got to send my daughter to Canada. She got to go live with some family member. And that's
Right.
what happens. And just remember, Mordecai is a Benjamite. He's a Barak Yala. Where are you from?
Martinique.
He's from Martinique. Right? He's from Jamaica. He's from Trinidad. He's from St. Vincent. That's where he's from. And he works hard.
Man.
And he's trying to make sure his child's good. It's not his child, but he's raising the child like it's his, because that's what he's doing. Where were we? Barak, keep reading.
Karawakan. Esther chapter 2, verse 8. So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan, the palace, to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house, to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women. Verse 9. And the maiden pleased them, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things for purification.
Hold
With
up right
such-
there, Barak.
Karawakan.
I'm going to get my brother to read that verse one more time. And I pray you sisters understand what you're going to be taught. I'm going to get him to read it one more time for you, and then we're going to break that down. Just read that one part again, Barak.
Karawakan. Esther chapter 2, verse 9. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things for purification.
Right, there's a saying in the world, you catch more flies with honey than shit. I'm going to break that down for you. Bees, right? Thwada. You catch more bees with honey than shit. Salakia. What that is saying is, right? if you are kind as a sister, you're gonna get everything you want. That attitude is cute for a second. Just it's cute for a second because we want a little box. You know, we want to, like a brother in the world gonna tell you, yeah, the attitude's nice. He don't give a damn. He just wants a box. He leaving anyways. You don't have to deal with that attitude for the next 20 years. You try that attitude nonsense with the UPK brother, you're gonna get checked real quick. And he's still gonna deal with you, but he's gonna check you. He's gonna check you about it. Esther, she didn't have no attitude. She was raised up by a excellent brother. Listen to this brother. Follow this brother. So she didn't have an attitude. I can only imagine the check-ins that Mordecai gave Esther when she was young to grow her up into the woman that is not pleasable is the word that I'm looking for, but she is agreeable. Like, you just want to be around this sister. Y'all ever met a sister you just want to be around? You're like, damn, I can't wait until I see this sister. You might take a 6-hour bus ride to go see this sister, or a 4-hour drive to go see this sister, because she's just so agreeable. You just want her in your presence. You're like, man, listen, I'm about to buy her some flowers. I'm about to do all the wonderful things a man could do for a woman without compromising himself. And I'm not talking about letting this woman tell you, Guerrilla Hebrew, I'm gonna dominate you, and you're gonna be like, yeah, that's what I want. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this sister is so excellent, you just want to cook some food for her. You want to give her a back rub. That was Esther. Where are we now? She was so kind that she just got her things.
Kawakan.
Salakia?
Nasi Karawakan.
Oh, yeah, no sweat. Yeah, I'm just letting people know Esther's agreeable. Some women in the world are not agreeable. You do not agree with them. You don't want to be around them outside of that 40 minutes of getting some box, of tearing fire.
Hey, Salakia one.
You give her 20 minutes because you just want to hurry up and get out of there. Come on.
I think it's one of the crazy things where women, a lot of women, damn near most of women, I want to say damn near all women, don't understand they really could get anything they want. You just have to act right.
Right.
That's really
just
it.
Act right.
Just shut your mouth.
Just be like, shut your mouth. Be quiet. Like just be quiet for a second. That's all you got to do. Like, realistically, that's really all you got to do for a second, for a time, and you will literally get everything that you want. Right? Where were we?
We're in the middle of the verse.
Can you finish that?
9. Kawakan, sir. With such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women.
Right. See, you see what happened? Y'all sisters see what happened right there? She was kind. She wasn't giving attitude, talking out the side of her neck, rolling her eyes, having an answer for everything. Like, damn, okay, you got an answer for everything. Like, we know, like, shut up now. Like, shut your mouth. We don't want to hear it no more. And that's why he's at his other rib's house tonight. He's not with you right now because you won't shut your mouth. Shut up. Just stop talking. Be kind to that brother. He's a black man, Hispanic man, or Native American man in a world full of oppressors. He gets up, he goes to work every day, he takes care of the family, and you giving that nigga attitude as soon as he gets in the house. He can't even chill out for a second, turn on his PS5, or if you're Barack Ya'ala, Xbox. All right. But I had to, Salakia, I had to. Right? He can't even turn on his Xbox without hearing. You're like, damn, I'm going outside. And now he's at the bar all night getting drunk because he don't want to go home, and he wait until you fall asleep. You ain't falling asleep, so he got to take 2 more shots. She was an excellent sister. She got the things that she needed because she was so excellent. She got the best space to live. She got her things quickly so she could be purified for the king. Brock, what was at the end of verse 9?
Kawakan, sir.
If you could read verse 10, Baba Kasha.
Kawakan, Esther chapter 2, verse 10. Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
Right, so she's keeping who she is secret. She's not telling the king, like, yo, I'm an Israelite. She's not saying this, right? And listen, this is going to work out. She had wise counsel. And what did this sister do, right? Barak just read, Mordecai told her not to do this, and she followed. She said, Khan, I don't want Khan, and followed, right? Listen, brothers in here, there's men above me. I say Khan, I don't want Khan too. It happens. We follow orders, right? And this sister was moving like, she's acting like she's a soldier. Giving an order, and she said, Khan, I want Khan, and goes through with it. Now, I'm not saying sisters are soldiers because we don't put sisters in any type of masculine role. But she was following orders like a soldier. If you could, where did we finish? That was verse 10. If you could read verse 11, Baba Kasha.
Kawakan, verse 11. And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Right, because remember, he raised this is his cousin. But he raised her like it's his daughter. And you got a daughter? Listen, I got a daughter. I check up on her every night. She falls asleep, and I wake up jumping out the middle of my sleep. Like, oh my gosh, let me look. And I got to shine my light to see where she is. Take my cell phone, turn on the flashlight, and I look. Okay, she's all right. I'm checking. I'm holding my hand on her stomach, make sure she's still breathing. All of that. That's what a father does, right? There is a verse in the Bible where it tells you a father stays up all night watching over his daughter so she's not hated when she's a wife. He's contemplating, what is this woman going to grow up to be? And he's praying every night that she doesn't grow up to disappoint him. He don't want to hear she's on the pole or she's getting passed around the neighborhood. So he's up every night hoping and praying and asking God to watch over her, because that's what fathers do. This is what Mordecai was doing. He checking up on her every day to go see if she's all right, to make sure she's good. Read verse 12.
Kawakan, Esther chapter 2, verse 12. Now when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women.
That's what.
For so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women.
Right. Now listen, this sister is getting purified. She taking 6 months of this, 6 months of that, trying to get right. Right. And this is what, not just imagine. Y'all sisters jump from man to man to man. It's like we just broke up. 10 minutes later, oh, I got a new man now. And it's like, damn, you ain't give yourself time to air out. You ain't do nothing. You just went from relationship to relationship. Sisters be like, I need time to heal. Good night. You know what they're really saying? Anybody know what they're really saying? Young man, when sisters say they need time to heal, what do you think they're saying?
Trying to say I'm keeping my options open. I need to, like, you know what I'm saying?
If y'all heard that, he said they're trying to be like, I'm keeping my options open. meaning a whole phase. When she trying to heal, she going through her whole phase. I seen it. I seen they compared Cardi. Con.
Keeping her options open. She really meant her legs.
Yeah, right. Keeping her option open. Is option left leg, option right leg. Good night. Which one do you want on your shoulder?
It's like she needs time to, like, let herself do what she's always wanted to do.
Yeah, she want a whole phase. Look at you know what pissed me off earlier? The brother Corey Hardrick, I don't know how to say his name. The one who was dealing with that heathen Tiamori. He got 15 million from LGBTQ Tyler Perry to be in a movie. Right? Before he got that 15 million, his rib Tia broke up with him. She said she graduated from marriage. Dogged that brother for months on the internet. Dogged him out. Like, damn, we knew everything. Just to realize nobody wants you. Just to realize it's cold out there in them streets. And they're reporting, I don't know if this is true or not, because I haven't really heard him say anything, but they're reporting that they got back together after she went and threw her whole face. That is horrible. Listen, I pray. I'm going to tell you, brothers, this. Don't ever double back. Don't ever spin the block. There's no spinning the block. I could when I was in the world, I wanted one of my exes back. I'm glad that never happened. Right? I'm glad that never happened. I'm glad I heard Officer Bond teach, don't double back. Don't spin the block on her. She wanted her options open. She went and got rod from another man, and now she's going to come back. Horrible. Don't do that. You're just going to hate yourself. You're going to hate what's going on. Right? Where were we? Where were we? We were in verse...
So like a person, we're in verse 13.
Come on, Baba Kashah, can you read? Let's see. Can you jump down to verse 20, Baba Kashah?
Karawakan. Esther chapter 2, verse 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did commend it of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him.
Good daughter, an excellent daughter she was. She still listened to this man like she was a child. Do you know how much respect she had for him? You got sisters right now who will tell a man, right? They will let that man pretzel her, like turn it into all different type of pretzels, right? Like legs going this way, arms going that way. And then she'll turn around and say, you ain't my daddy, I don't got to listen to you. That's horrible. This sister was given power, right? Didn't have to listen to Mordecai no more. She's in a whole new world, a whole new palace. She met the millionaire. She don't have to listen to her father no more, who works in the factory. But what she do? She still listened to him. Now, I'm not saying Mordecai worked in a factory or anything like that, or he was poor, right? I'm just giving you a comparison of this woman got the multi-millionaire. She's in his house, but her father was not a multi-millionaire, and she's still listening to him. She's still taking his advice. Keep reading.
Kawakam, Esther chapter 2, verse 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigtan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wrought, and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
Right. So they wanted to plot on the king. They're trying to unalive him. They want to put hands on him. Who knows why he's mad? Who knows why they're mad? No one knows. Like it doesn't say. But they're mad with him. They want to put hands on him. Mordecai, he's listening to this. He's hearing this. Right? Mordecai, he's a wise man. He does the wise thing. And what he does is going to get him recognized by the king. Keep reading.
Kawakan, verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther, the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
Right. So he told Esther, listen, they about to put hands on that king. You better go warn, old boy. And she went and did the right thing. She went and said, listen, my uncle told me he's outside by the gates every day. He's telling me these little niggas want to put hands on you. I don't know how you offended them, but they want to put hands on you. And she's made sure to say, Mordecai told me this. Right? Keep reading.
Kawakan, verse 23. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
Right. So this happened. They found out. They were interrogated or interviewed or listen, however they might have put out some fingernails to them niggas confessed. And they found out. And they were hung on a tree. What's being said? Mordecai saved the kingdom. Mordecai saved the king from being unalived. Because remember, these are men who can get very close to the king. They're not regular men. They're the king's guard. So if the king goes out that gate, they're right there. It's nothing for them to turn on him. The king might go out with just one guard, and there's these two men by the gate who are supposed to be his guard as well. And they could unalive him if they get the incline to. So they were slew. They were hung on a tree for plotting treason against the king. Let's go to, if you could, can you go to chapter 3 for me? Oh, you can share some food? Okay. Barak, no, you're too out. Do your thing. Barak, can you read chapter 3, verse, where are we? Chapter 3, verse 1, Baba Shah.
Kawakan, Esther chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes which were with him. Verse 2. And all the king's servants.
All right, hold up, right? All right. Now we're reading about Haman, right? And if you wanted to know who Haman is today, Haman would be hold up. What's that devil I just posted a second ago? If you go on I.S.U.P.K. Toronto's Instagram, there's a clip of Ben Shapiro, right? He would be a descendant of Haman. If it's warm, you could turn up the heat on that oven. If it's cold, I mean, right? Ben Shapiro would be a descendant of Haman today, right? The Agagites, or who are known as the Amalekites today in the world, right? The Jewish man, right? There's an imposter in the earth. He's running around digging tunnels in New York from synagogue to synagogue. He put in his mouth on baby rod, talking about I am, what's he saying? He's saying he's giving that baby a circumcision and he needs his mouth to suck the blood off that baby rod because that's his tradition. He calls himself a Jew. He's not a Jew. He's Jewish. He wants to be a Jew. Right. Like, listen, this area that we're in right now, there's corn right there if you want corn. In the no, and under that plate right there, right there, there's corn, and then there's gravy in that pot. Right. I hope all brothers and sisters, y'all eating some good food right now as we open this feast of Purim. Right? Salakia. So there is a man, Haman. He's been promoted. He's an Amalekite. He's a thorn in the thigh of Israel because King Saul didn't want to unalive his peoples. He kept one of them alive because King Saul thought he could get money off this, right? But he was promoted and he was given a high rank in the kingdom. Keep reading.
Karawakan. Esther chapter 3, verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Mordecai went to Real Nigga University.
Damn right.
That's where Mordecai went. He went to Real Nigga University. He ain't bowing down to no oppressor. Right? He ain't. Listen, the older generation would say, don't show them white people your teeth. Meaning, don't be smiling up in their faces all the time. Right? You want to show them your teeth. You want to smile like a good slave because you're a good boy. Good night. Mordecai was not that. He never went to the BNU. If RNU is the Real Nigga University, listen, man, shout out Captain Tazariak for coining that phrase, the BNU. Mordecai didn't go to the BNU. Where are we? Read verse 3, Baba Kasha.
Kawakan, Esther chapter 3, verse 3. Then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressed thou the king's commandment?
Right? So they're saying to Mordecai, why are you transgressing the king's commandment? Why didn't you bow down to Haman? Right? Now, he didn't bow down because he's not going to bow down to no oppressor, which you should never do. The I.S.U.P.K makes oppressors bow down to us, and we don't use violence to do it. We don't have to be violent to do it at all. We just use our words and convict their spirits, and they bow down to us. I pray all my brothers get a boot kiss, get to see some oppressor with his face down to the earth. And it's such a simple gesture, right? It's nothing compared to what oppressors are going to have to do later. But it's just a simple gesture, right? So we're going to read a couple more verses and then call it to the end. And then we'll continue tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll be here on the same channel, right? Same channels. We'll be here breaking down and closing out the Feast of Purim. Right? So, Baba Kasha, if you can continue reading, Barak.
Kawakan, Esther chapter 3, verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, said he hearkened not unto them what they told Haman, to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand. For he had told them that he was a Jew. Verse 5.
Right. So this man told the servants he was a Jew. They were on him about, listen, you're not bowing down, you're not bowing down, you're not bowing down. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm a Jew. I don't do that. And they got fed up and went and told the new raised up Haman, who was promoted, right? He was promoted. You know, someone gets a little bit of power, they get to their head. There's knives right there if you want a knife for some good lamb, man. You're gonna need a knife for a salakia. Right. So they told Haman, this little nigga not bowing down to you. Why? Right? And I brought up Ben Shapiro because Haman believes the same thing as Ben Shapiro. And again, you could go check it out on any ISUPK Toronto platform and see it. That Haman believes the same thing. Barak, if you could keep reading.
Kawakan, verse 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
Right. So whenever you don't bow down to an oppressor and make them feel like they are the shit, they're going to be full of wrath. Full of, I just want to unalive some brothers. Hey, them young teenage Caucasian boys in the United States, they do it all the time. Every time one of their women turns them down from getting boxed, he goes and shoots up the whole high school. He trying to get that young sister to lay with him like she'd been with the whole basketball team, because the Caucasian woman is the number one whore in the earth from young. And she won't lay with him like she lays with the whole football team and the teachers in the school. So he gets mad. He goes and takes his uncle's firearm, brings it to the school, and starts unaliving every black person, every Hispanic person he can see, because some Edomite devil won't give him what he believes he deserves. All right, where we at? Barak, you can read again. Verse 6.
Kawakan, Esther chapter 3, verse 6. And he taught scorn and lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
Right. And listen, Ben Shapiro said Donald Trump needs to pardon Derek Chauvin because he knows it's going to hurt black people. He don't give a damn about black people. We watched this cop kneel on a man's neck. Listen, y'all can turn around and say it was fentanyl that was going to kill him anyways. Cool. We watched this cop kneel on a man's neck for 8 minutes. He's doing life. Good. It's good. We pray that I pray that his time in there is at the most horrible. Right? Anything but pleasant. I pray it's just, listen, some brother walks up and says, is that your pudding, and spits in it. Salaki. That's me speaking as a man, not as a priest under Commanding General YAHANNA. Right? I just pray that brother's time is it's absolute hell for him. He ain't a brother, Salakia, that devil. Right? We watch what happens. Whenever Caucasians are mad at us, they want to unalive everyone. It could be, who is that? Liam Nelson?
They could be mad at anything.
Yeah, like the young man said, they could be mad at anything and just want to unalive everything. Everybody. He mad at the PlayStation froze. He's like, you know what? I'm loading up this M16 right now, and whoever's outside is getting it, especially if they black. We watched it. Where was it? Buffalo? Was it Buffalo or Boston? The devil ran into the grocery store. Buffalo. The devil ran into the grocery store. Anything black got a bullet. I mean, those brothers and sisters who fell in that moment rise again. May they rise again in a kingdom with no sin. Right? He unalived anything black got a bullet. An M16 bullet tearing through you is horrible, devastating your inner organs. And then he seen a white man curled up in a fetal position, and his finger did not even move. He let that Caucasian man go. Because anytime they're angry, they just want to unalive someone black, Hispanic, or Native American. It happened. We seen the race wars of 1919, I believe, right? Where the boxer, I did a history class on this boxer a couple times. This boxer was knocking out them Edomites. And he was sleeping with with cave dogs. I just don't understand that part. ISUPK, our stance is if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, get a Black, Hispanic, or Native American. That's our stance, right? But this brother, he was taking them dogs to bed and knocking out their counterpart, and they didn't like it. They ran through every black town they seen, and they called it the Red Summer. They called it the Red Summer, red because of all the bloodshed. Right, Brock, where were we? Was that the? Did you finish that verse?
Kalawakan.
All right, we're at the time. With that said, we are going to continue tomorrow and close out this feast. All right, we're going to close out this feast tomorrow, 7 p.m., same channels. All right, make sure you get some good food, and be with your brothers and sisters. With that said, I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the opening of the Feast of Purim, and I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer 500.
Yeah, the security.
Folder, yellow folder.
Clap it up. This is I.S.P.K. security announcements. We're the I.S.P.K. started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry, tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest non-mandatory, whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocation. We're currently in the opening of the Feast of Purim, which is Thursday the 13th and Friday the 14th of March. Reminder to all Akim and Aquatin to check the bulletin board of the hallway of the school if they have a physical location. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, so we give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Menavisha Imajam. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Imajam means stand up. Menavisha Imajam Shabbat. Imajam Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Min Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai bless y'all. Yah Jamatah, which means hands down. Sar, turn and face the sisters. Sar means to turn. Turn and face the sisters. We'll give them a courtesy salute as well. Menavisha Imajam Shabbat. Imajam Barak. Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahweh Shai. Min Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yah Jamatah, his hands down, class dismissed.
All right, priest.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. The I.S.U.P.K. presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all, including the annual lamb slaughter. You already know. Then it's the Hebrew Academy trial. Oh boy. Next, we got the children's party. Then, you know we got General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class and the Hebrew Academy graduation. The Lord's 56th annual Passover. Pay your Passover fee. It's only $200 to get all these exclusive events. Real black culture. The general's in attendance and the stage is set. It's going down. April the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. This event is only for the black, Hispanic, and Native indigenous people. We got a week full of events from April the 9th and the 13th. But remember, you got to pay that Passover fee. It's only $200 to get every event exclusively. Here's the itinerary for the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 9th is the annual lamb slaughter. April the 10th is the kids party. At 7 p.m. later that night, General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class. April the 11th, the Hebrew Academy graduation. Later that night at 8 p.m. is the all-black party. April the 12th is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. $200, 17 years or older, pay your Passover fee. See you in Atlanta, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West.